Knowledge is power. Earthly wisdom. Spiritual knowledge. BD0676 from November 21, 1938, taken from book number 14. New opportunities will always present themselves which correspond to the will of the Lord, often not recognizable at first, but later on visibly connected with the will of the Lord. Therefore pay attention to the everlasting change around you and remain devoted to the Lord in constant love, then you will be sure of success where you would not have dreamed of it. Every single link of a chain must be forged, and without effort nothing can be achieved. And in the same way link after link of spiritual truths must join together in uninterrupted sequence to form a coherent whole. And so the Lord proclaims the following to you today. Knowledge is power. If a person rejects earthly wisdom, it is to be expected that all earthly advantage will also be granted to him only to a small degree. He will go through life ignorant and will never be able to attain power, prestige and honor if he ignores everything that helps him to gain knowledge. But the right light, spiritual knowledge, will only be recognized in its full beneficial effect by those who make an effort to enrich themselves more and more. Man will only become alive when his knowledge, which is imparted to him by the Spirit of God within him, is utilized in order to remedy the spiritual blindness of his fellow human beings. In this way, an infinite number of people are to be helped to walk the path of light, and they are to be taught the right knowledge about God's love and wisdom. Yet this, in turn, can only happen when the teacher has acquired knowledge himself which enables him to spread his knowledge, and therefore hardly anyone who receives the truth from above will be content with merely benefiting from it himself but will only be completely satisfied when he can share his knowledge as often as possible where it is necessary to point the erring soul onto the right path. And in the same way, the earthly knowing person will always try to utilize his knowledge, otherwise it would be worthless for him as well as for the world. For what a person knows only gains value if it can be utilized accordingly for humanity. Thus, spiritual knowledge will only be able to assert itself if the blessing is fully recognizable, which was assured by God to spiritual knowledge as a constant companion and is also fulfilled where one is willing to accept the spiritual truth. Nothing is without purpose and goal that is shown to people by the Lord and Creator of heaven and earth. And so all earthly wisdom is more likely to perish, but never the divine word, which is the epitome of all wisdom from God. And therefore only those can gain wisdom who receive and absorb it with their heart, who do not think of earthly advantage but only have their eternal salvation in mind. For his knowledge will be increased to such an extent that even the wisest earthly scholar will be far behind him, since his knowledge is transient and therefore also useless for eternity. Amen.